Maya stood outside the towering glass building, her heart pounding harder than the heels clicking across the marble floor behind her. She adjusted her blazer with one hand while gently shifting the baby wrap with the other. Inside it, her 6-month-old daughter, Emma, dozed, cheeks flushed and tiny hands curled against Maya's chest. It wasn't how she imagined walking into the most important job interview of her life, but life hadn't exactly gone according to plan. She caught her reflection in the glass, dark circles under her eyes, a crease of worry etched deep between her brows. "Just breathe." She whispered it like a mantra. This was her one shot. Bills were piling up. Rent was due. And ever since that cold morning 3 weeks ago when she lost James, the silence at home had become unbearable. As she approached the front desk, the receptionist did a quick double-take, her eyes flickering from the baby to Maya's hopeful smile. "Interview?" she asked, uncertain. "Yes." "Maya Benson for the marketing position," she replied, trying to sound more confident than she felt. The receptionist hesitated before pointing her toward the elevator. "Top floor. Room 19. As Maya rode up, she tightened her grip on the strap of the baby wrap. She knew bringing Emma was a risk, maybe even a deal-breaker. But what other choice did she have? She wasn't just interviewing for a job. She was fighting for a future, for herself, and for the tiny life sleeping against her chest. Maya stepped into the boardroom, the door clicking softly shut behind her. Four professionals sat at a long glass table, sleek laptops open, expressions unreadable. Their polished appearances contrasted sharply with Maya's slightly wrinkled blouse and the faint spit-up stain she hadn't noticed until the elevator mirror. Still, she lifted her chin. Emma stirred in the wrap, letting out a soft sigh that echoed louder than it should have in the tense silence. One of the women glanced at the baby, then exchanged a look with the man seated at the head of the table, Mr. Carver, according to the nameplate in front of him. He didn't smile. "You're Maya Benson," he said, not unkindly, but with the detached tone of someone already making judgments. "Yes, thank you for seeing me," she said, moving carefully to the chair. She settled in, bouncing Emma gently with one hand while opening her folder with the other. She began her pitch, an innovative brand strategy she'd crafted between midnight feedings and grief-fueled insomnia. They listened, or at least pretended to. But just as she was gaining momentum, Emma let out a sudden, piercing cry. Maya froze. Heat rushed to her cheeks. She whispered to the baby, trying to soothe her, willing her to calm down. The room felt smaller, the silence heavier. "I'm so sorry," she said, looking up with apologetic eyes. Mr. Carver leaned back, expression unreadable. No one said a word. In that moment, Maya felt the weight of everything, grief, fear, and now, the shame of possibly blowing her only chance. Maya rocked Emma gently, her voice trembling as she spoke. "I'm really sorry. She's teething. I didn't have anyone to watch her." She hesitated, then decided to stop hiding the truth. Her father, James, passed away 3 weeks ago. I haven't been able to leave her with anyone since. Today's the first time I even left the house. The room fell completely still. The air, once filled with subtle judgment, now felt heavy with something else, understanding, maybe even guilt. Mr. Carver, who had barely reacted until now, slowly sat forward, his expression softening. "My wife died when our son was just a year old," he said, his voice quieter now, stripped of the corporate polish. "I remember bringing him to a meeting once." He threw up on the VP's shoes. A faint, unexpected smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. One of the other interviewers, a woman in a navy blazer, blinked and looked down, clearly moved. Maya's eyes welled, not from pity but from the sudden, jarring relief of being seen, as a person, not a risk. She had walked in fearing judgment, but now something had shifted. The walls between candidate and employer were gone, replaced by something raw and human. "I didn't come here to make excuses," Maya added, voice steadier now. I came because I'm ready to rebuild. For her. And for me. Mr. Carver nodded slowly. That's exactly why you're here. And I'm glad you came. Mr. Carver leaned back in his chair, studying Maya, not as a disruption or liability, but as someone who had just revealed remarkable strength. The silence in the room had changed. It wasn't tense anymore. It was thoughtful. Then, he spoke. You showed up when it would have been easier to stay home. You prepared, you presented, and you didn't give up, not even when things got hard. He paused, glancing at Emma, now peacefully asleep against Maya's chest. That's the kind of resilience we need around here. Maya blinked, unsure if she had heard him right. Are you offering me the job? He smiled, genuinely this time. Not just offering it. We want you on the team. If you can lead a room while holding a baby and carrying grief, you can lead a campaign. The woman from HR chimed in. And actually, your situation made us realize we've got a lot of gaps when it comes to supporting working parents. We've been talking about a family-first policy for a while, maybe you could help shape it. Maya's throat tightened. She nodded slowly, unable to find words at first. This wasn't just a job anymore. It was a chance to change things, not just for herself, but for others walking the same difficult path. Thank you, she whispered, emotion thick in her voice. I won't let you down. Mr. Carver shook his head gently. You already proved you won't. Weeks later, sunlight streamed through the office windows as Maya stepped off the elevator, her ID badge swinging gently from her lanyard. Emma was downstairs in the company's newly partnered daycare center, safe, loved, and just a short walk away if needed. Maya exhaled, still amazed at how much could change in such a short time. She passed by the break room and paused. On the wall was a new photo display, smiling employees with their families, a banner above that read, People First, Our Family, Our Future. In the center was her photo, Maya holding Emma, both of them beaming. Underneath it read, Meet Maya, a mother, a fighter, and the heart behind our new Family First initiative. A colleague walked by and smiled. Because of you, I felt brave enough to ask for flexible hours, she said softly. I didn't think they'd listen, until you made them see us. Maya smiled back, heart full. She had started this journey with fear and desperation, unsure whether bringing her baby would cost her everything. But it turned out, it was the very thing that opened a door, not just for her, but for others too. As she sat down at her desk, she glanced at a sticky note taped to her monitor. It was something she'd scribbled the night before, lead with love. Always. And in that moment, Maya knew, she hadn't just found a job. She'd found a purpose.